This video is sponsored by Wildlife Command Center Coffee. More about them at the end of the video. Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back with another Dark Park Film Reviews. And this is going to be kind of a unique episode because when I originally started Dark Park Film Reviews, the idea was that I would review one film, and it would just be me reviewing one film, and that'd be it. And instead, it kind of turned into like me reviewing collections, like Roger Corman collections, or doing a ranking like the Howling movies, or even doing something like a deconstruction, like a, Blair Witch or Dollar Tree, which seems, those are the videos that people seem to like the most. And I never really did just me reviewing one film. And so I thought this would be the first one. So even though I review one film over at Indie Film Cafe for Reviews After Midnight, that's an Indie Film Cafe video. So that's over on their YouTube channel. And I do review just one film over there. Over here, like I said, I don't think I've done that yet. So this video, I really think will be the first one, and I'm going to do more of these. And kind of like the Reviews After Midnight is, I found some questions online and then I added some of my own, but these are basically like questions if you're going to review a movie. And right now there's 11 of them, and I will probably, take some out, add some in, make up my own, maybe go check online again to see, if I can add some stuff to it. And it's kind of a good starting off point for reviewing a film. And so that's what we're going to do. So I think that we should actually get to that. And so according to my list, it says here, film title. You could also include a star rating here. All right, well, film title is Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich. I love Mila. She is my number one. She is my absolute favorite actress. I've had a thing for her pretty much since like Return to the Blue Lagoon. And don't think that's weird because I was a lot younger when that movie came out. And I've just kind of followed her career since. I did get to meet her. When I was living in Pasadena, I worked at Tower Records, and we got passes to go to her record release party. And yes, she has an album, and technically there's two, but officially there's one, and then one is unofficial. But it's called The Divine Comedy. And she was really young when she did it. It was kind of folky. And I went to that record release party. She performed with her band the entire album, and I got to speak with her for, I want to say probably about 20 minutes at that time. And she signed a CD for me and a poster. And like an idiot, when I needed money, I sold them, and I don't have them anymore. And it's one of maybe like 5 regrets of me selling something. And I really wish I had those. I really do. I don't know what, I was just stupid. And, but she was really cool to hang out with. At the time, she was a pretty big pothead. I don't know if she is anymore. And I even asked her to be in a film. And her comment was, does the character smoke pot? And I said, if you want her to, sure, why not? I guess I spent a little too much time talking to her because she did have a very large bodyguard with her. And he pretty much was like, time to move on. And I'm just like, okay, thank you. I appreciate your time. And so she is my number one bucket list actress who I would absolutely love to make a movie with. And knowing what she does, like you, I guess, I don't know, whatever you think of her husband, of Paul W.S. Anderson, I don't think that you can make movies below him. You have to make movies like on his level or above to get her to be in them. And, for those of you who don't know a lot about her, is, she is from like the Russian area, and she is a musician. She's a singer, a model, actress, of course. And I just think that she's absolutely beautiful. I think that she gets better looking the older that she gets. And I'm just a huge fan of her. And I was even a fan of her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson, before they even got together. So, that type, I just liked his films. And I'm one of the few people who liked Alien vs. Predator. Big fan of Event Horizon. I would love to see an uncut version of that, which I guess just does not exist anymore. Maybe somewhere around there's floating like a VHS tape or something, and maybe there's an uncut copy of it. But I'm a fan of his, and I love that, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's pretty much the perfect woman for a geek, and she married a geek. I mean, Paul W.S. Anderson is a film geek. He's a geek. And I love that. I think that's absolutely great. So for me, she's just number one. And I will pretty much watch anything with her in it. The only reason why I watched Zoolander and Zoolander 2 is because she's in it. I'm not a huge Ben Stiller fan. And, the films were okay for what they were. But I did see them for her. So that's why I wanted to review Monster Hunter, because it's brand new. It's her latest movie. It's Paul W.S. Anderson's latest film. And so I thought that'd be appropriate. Sometime down the road, I probably will do a Resident Evil video and review and rank all the Resident Evil films. I liked every one of them. And so I just would have to put them in order. So I don't think that there was a bad one in the lot. I've not seen the new movie that came out and just kind of disappeared. Mila's not in it, and Paul W.S. Anderson has nothing to do with it, as far as I know. So I don't really think there's a reason for me to go watch it. I've heard has a lot of stuff from the games, but I never played the games. Much like I never played any of the games for Monster Hunter. I never even knew that there were Monster Hunter games until this movie came out. And I missed it in the theater just because I just heard it was bad. A lot of people did not like it. And so I waited and I bought it on Blu-ray. And so let's start with the list then. So film title, Monster Hunter. And let's see, what would your star rating be? Well, there are a lot of spiders. Oop, I hit my mic. There's a lot of spiders in this movie. So I'm going to give it a spider rating. So out of 5 being 5 spiders being the best, 1 spider being the lowest, I'm actually going to give this 4 spiders, 4 arachnids. I really enjoyed the movie. I don't know why it gets such crap. I understand that, maybe if you played the games and you're a dedicated gamer and you may not like the movie. I was the same way with Resident Evil. I knew very little. I knew it was based on a game. And then over the years, I found out more and more about the games. But kind of like with Monster Hunter, I knew little to none. So I had nothing to compare it to, kind of like the Resident Evil movies. I had little to none to compare it to. So I really thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so 4 arachnids I will give this. And like I said, this is the Blu-ray copy. So it's got the Blu-ray and the digital. We got Mila up here. And and by the way, that Divine Comedy album, it's on Spotify. If you haven't heard it, you should. Like I said, it's kind of folky, and I think it's great. She's got like a whole band. She's, she writes some of the songs. She's it's really a Mila album, and I will still listen to it to this day. I have a download of it, and like I said, you can listen to it on Spotify. I think you're missing out if you don't listen to that album. It is so good. Some of the songs were in like Rules of Attraction. The Gentleman Who Fell I think is in that film. And then she's had songs in a couple other movies too. So go listen to that. Highly recommend it. But back to this. So on this, it says down here, the video game come to life, ... Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Because there's an exclamation point. And that is from Steve Weintraub from Collider. And then here we have the this is the dragon that's at the end of the movie. One of a couple. And then I guess these are the other dragons that are here. And there's Mila there. And then this is, everybody's going to know this guy before I can get his name. I'm blanking on the name here. Tony, and I think is it Jaa? Tony Jaa? 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 The film also has Megan Good, who I really like. And it also has, of course, the legend Ron Perlman in it. Here's its side. And then we got its back. And we got, there's Tony up there with a giant, I don't know what you would call that. It's not a sword. It's not, I guess, an axe, maybe like a big battle axe, which I think is made from the bones of like a creature. There's Mila up there at a gun and her men. So that's before they go to the alternate universe, which I like that they don't really explain. They're out in the desert. They're looking for another platoon and who have disappeared. And they end up going through like the same portal. And they end up in this world that has dragons and spiders. And there's a creature that goes underneath the sand and stuff. They don't have a picture of it, I don't think, anywhere on here. But it's the picture that's on the poster. And it's not like a worm or anything. It comes up and it has like 2 arms and it's got like a head. It has horns on it. And it just travels through the sand. Here's, I think there's Mila with a flare. I think that's when she's in the spider's lair in like their den or nest. And then of course there's Mila there looking hot, all bashed up and everything. So she's just one of those people that looks great, without being all bashed up and also all bashed up. So there's a review on the back here that says big monsters, huge effects, and nonstop action. And that's from Eric Davis, Fandango. The special features, there's a fair amount of. I have not had a chance to watch them yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Paul W.S. Anderson always does good special features. So we got the Monster Hunters, casting characters, monstrous arsenal. So that'd be weaponry in the film for the players from game to screen and deleted scenes. You also get the digital copy of the movie. And this is 103 minutes. Let's see. My only thing is it's PG-13. I wish it was R. But I guess the violence is fine because the monsters are all CGI. And so they do get pretty messed up. So and it's PG-13 for sequences of creature action and violence throughout. So I don't know if they could have really done any more if it was R. So maybe I take that back. So the PG-13 is okay. It's one of the few times that I will say that. Let's see here. I wish it had audio commentary. It's written for the screen and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Jeremy Bolt, who's a long-term guy, long-term friend and business partner of Paul W.S. Anderson, is one of the producers. The director of photography I like, that is Glenn MacPherson. And now the editor of this is Dobie White. One, that's a dumb name, Dobie. I mean, is he from Harry Potter? He's the same guy who edited Resident Evil, the final chapter, which is a nightmare. And the editing in this is much, much better. It is much, much better, except for when Tony Jaa is fighting. And I don't know a lot about him. I know that he's like a really big martial arts artist. They don't keep on him. There's just edit after edit after edit after edit after edit. And that's really kind of frustrating, especially with his skills. So that's kind of frustrating. The film is based upon Cap Tums. It's very small. Cap Tums or Cap Tons video game Monster Hunter. The music is really good too. That's a Paul Haslinger. He's done really good stuff. He's worked on a lot of Paul W.S. Anderson films. One of my favorite soundtracks from him is Death Race. I thought was really good. Let's see. So let's look at what the back of this says. So, behind our world, there is another, a world of dangerous and powerful monsters that rule their domain with deadly ferocity. When an unexpected sandstorm transports Captain Artemis Mila Jovovich, it's not Jovovich. So overseas and stuff, like in Europe and all that, it's Mila Jovovich. The J is pronounced as an H. But in America, a lot of people say Mila Jovovich. She does make a comment about this on the first Resident Evil film in the audio commentary, that people mispronounce her name in America. Let's see. And her unit, T.I. Harris, Megan Good, Diego. Oh, T.I. Harris is a person's name. I'm sorry. Thinking they're like, what is T.I.? So, okay, so her unit, it's T.I. Harris, Megan Good, Diego Bontia. In a new world, the soldiers are shocked to discover that this hostile and unknown environment is home to enormous and terrifying monsters immune to their firepower. In their desperate battle for survival, the unit encounters the mysterious hunter, Tony Jaa, whose unique skills allow him to stay one step ahead of the powerful creatures. As Artemis and Hunter slowly build trust, she discovers that he is part of a team led by the Admiral, who's Ron Perlman, facing a danger so great it could threaten to destroy their world. The brave warriors combine their unique abilities to band together for the ultimate showdown. So this is going to have spoilers and all that in it. So, you know, it's film hasn't been out on Blu-ray and stuff for too long, but it did play in theaters last year. So there is spoilers. And yeah, so there's the inside. Oh, there's the creature. That's the sand creature right there. So let me flip it. There you go. That's the sand creature. Which is nice that they used something different for the disc. I like that. It doesn't look anything like this. So, okay, so back to the questions here. So the film title, Monster Hunter, like I said, star rating would be 4 arachnids. What did you expect from this film? is the second question. And what I expected was just to be entertained. Like I said, I'm a Paul W.S. Anderson fan. There's very few films of his that I have not been entertained with. Maybe The Four Musketeers is the only one that I thought was okay. Just didn't really seem to be necessary to make. But yeah, that may be the only one. I mean, Pompeii is okay. So I guess overall, I mean, just to be entertained. I just wanted to be fun, knowing that it was on a video game. It's actually, a little longer than what I expected. It's 103 minutes. I thought maybe this would be just 90 minutes. But it's never boring. And when you do watch this, stay through the credits. So about halfway through, there's some, there's like a post scene on it. So, but yeah, I think it's about halfway through. They do, I think in this, there is a cat character that I'm thinking they're trying to go a little Guardians of the Galaxy with it, because everybody else is technically human. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this cat creature comes who's he's like a chef, and he meows a lot. And I think that he's meant to be a little kind of Guardians of the Galaxy, like, maybe like Rocket. So I'm assuming he's in the games, because even if Paul W.S. Anderson, like in the Resident Evil films, even if he's not following the games exactly, he always has stuff from the games in it. So even if this doesn't follow the games, I guess the cat is somewhere in there. Oop, I hit my mic again. So yeah, but the cat's cool. The cat's cute. Cat, wants to kick some ass in the movie. So yeah, just, what did you expect from this film? To be entertained, just to have fun, enjoy a roughly 2-hour popcorn movie. And that's what it did for me. I enjoyed it quite a bit. What type of film is this? It would be sci-fi action, I would say. I guess video game film is maybe now a genre, just movies. So it's a video game film, but I would say if I had to put it on a shelf somewhere, I would probably say sci-fi action. Maybe some fantasy, because there's a dragon in it. Does it have a message? No, not really. I would say that there's no message. I mean, maybe that guns and tanks and missiles and all that type of stuff doesn't work, but old school stuff like knives and arrows and these big friggin' battle axes work, while these guns and stuff don't. But they do a little bit of both. I mean, they do more with the primitive weapons that seem to work better, but there are like missile launchers. I mean, she does use a flare that helps her out a lot. But it's mostly these primitive weapons that seem to work better than the modern ones. So I don't know, maybe that's it, that old school bows and arrows are better than guns, maybe. What happens in the film? So, like I briefly mentioned, Mila is the commander of this like platoon, and they're out trying to find this other group that disappeared. They get caught up in a sandstorm, and there's these pillars that turn on, and they get caught in the sandstorm, and it forces them into this kind of alternate dimension or parallel world, but it's more primitive or something. But they're not in Kansas anymore, basically. And basically through the fighting really at the beginning with like the spiders and the sand creature, pretty much Mila is all of her men and women, because there's men and women in her troop there, or platoon. I'm not sure what you call them. I'm not military. They all die. Like I said, spoilers. They're all die. They all die. They ain't coming back for the sequel if there is one. And then she teams up with Tony with Hunter, and it's them throughout most of the movie. So, but the very beginning of the film, kind of like pre-credits, there is a scene that takes place on the alternate world. It's all sand, and there's a ship, like kind of like the old like Pirates of the Caribbean type of ship that's in the sand. So it's like a sea of sand, and the sand monster is attacking the ship, and Hunter here falls off, and he's by himself. And then he meets up with Mila. They do like a big fight, and then they get to be friends because, you got to kick each other's ass first, and then you become friends after that. Like a respect is earned or something. And then they have to destroy the sand monster, and like they fight the spiders a little bit, and then they have to fight and kill the sand creature. They find an oasis, so there's like palm trees and like a lake. It's beautiful. There's actually dinosaurs there, and that's where they meet. That's where they come across the dragon, and they also meet up with Ron Perlman's character, the Admiral. We see his ship has survived, and they all team up to fight the dragon, because the dragon is protecting this tower that, through lava at the bottom, is controlling the tower up at the top that has lightning, and that's what's opening these portals. And so they have to destroy the tower. And there's a fight with the monster. And then Mila, I think she gets thrown off the monster, and then she goes through the portal, ends up back on Earth, regular Earth. And there's a bunch of military people there that have been searching for her. And that's when the big guy here, or gal, I don't want to say that it's one or the other. So the big dragon here goes through the portal and ends up on Earth and is destroying the whole military and everything. And basically both of them, Mila and Hunter, take down the dragon, and then Ron Perlman shows up, and that's when like a second dragon shows up, and then they end up going back to the alternate world to fight it. And then there's the little like little Easter egg that's like halfway through there. So that's more or less the story. I mean, without giving the whole thing away. So so what happens in the film? Does the plot make sense? Sure. They have to get from A to B, and they have their adventures along the way, and they have to kill certain creatures and stuff like that to get to this tower. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. Not much of a story, really. I mean, it's you don't have to think about it. It's just is exactly what it is. Is it easy enough to follow? Yes. Very easy to follow. Yeah. Is it believable? In the world of Monster Hunter, sure. The less you explain, the better. And so they don't explain the tower. They don't, except for the basics, like, oh, look, it's got lava down at the bottom. It's got lightning up at top. That's what's creating the portals. That's pretty much it. There's really no deep explanation of what this tower is. There's no explanation to why this world has a dragon, a dinosaur, like a sand creature, or giant spiders. They don't explain how the portals work. So it's believable in the Monster Hunter world. So, yeah. And I believe that the people that are in it could kick butt. I mean, we've seen Mila fight, zombies and everything else. So why? I have no problem thinking that she can't fight a dragon. Just look at her. I mean, she's just kicking ass. So yeah, it is believable. The next one is, let's see, who are the main characters and what are they like? So the main characters, as I already pointed out, is Mila and Tony Hunter. These are the two main characters that are throughout the whole film. She does have her team at the beginning, but they all die. And then she meets up with Ron Perlman and his crew, and that's when they team up. So at the beginning, we have the military. At the end, we have Ron Perlman and his people that show up. And the military just keeps getting their ass kicked in this. I mean, beginning and end. I mean, just getting their ass kicked. So maybe there is a message in this. I'm not sure. Let's see. Who are the actors playing these parts? Are they good in these parts? Well, we already went through this, so I pretty much already answered that question in advance. So I'll go into, are they good in these parts? And I'm going to say yes. Yes, they are. I believe Mila's character, I believe that he's Hunter. I believe Ron Perlman. So yeah, I think that they're believable. Sure, why not? You know, at no point did I go, oh, come on. No, I believe them. So okay. And I thought they were good in their parts. I thought Mila was good. I thought people could, with the way that she handles herself, that she would be respected by her men and women, because Megan Good is there too. So, you know, because she does a lot of stuff on her own. So that's the sign of a good leader, is that they just don't delegate and have other people do dangerous stuff. Is she does dangerous stuff in this too. So there's that respect. What is the camera work like? I thought it was well shot. I like the look of it. I love films that take place out in the desert. I live in the desert. So some of my own films are based out in the desert, like Meat Massacre 4 is a desert movie. I love the way the desert looks. I prefer snow over desert, but that's just me. But I do love desert. So the camera work looked really nice. I thought that it looked good. It was kind of muted. It didn't have like a ton of color to it. I'm guessing that's intentional. It was very bright. At no point did anybody, be hard to see. Like nobody was like, everything had its light sources coming through it, and you could see what was going on. So, and I appreciate that. So, let's see here. If there are special effects, what are they like? It's all CGI. So CGI, a lot of explosions and stunts. So, and I thought the CGI looked pretty good. I heard some people criticizing the CGI. The only time when I thought maybe the CGI was a little off was the ship at the very beginning, Ron Perlman's ship. I kind of went, I don't know, that looks a little CGI. But I thought all the monsters looked really good. I thought they looked nice and creepy. And the dragon looked good and all that. So yeah, so I thought that looked good. Are there beautiful scenes? Hard to say beautiful. I mean, it looked really nice, but it's not a colorful, like, color palette. There's not like, it's not like a box of crayons or something. It's not like a box of like markers, like different colored markers. It has a certain look to it, and that look is drab and very desert, very hot, the sun, things like that. So I wouldn't necessarily say that scenes look beautiful. The Oasis looked really good. That was nice and bright. So the film looked good. The Oasis looked, I would say that looked beautiful because of the lake and the palm trees and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so I thought that looked good. Are there moments when the camera is used in an interesting way? Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson always does interesting stuff with the camera. I especially liked the scenes of people being tossed around in vehicles. So basically beginning and end, whenever the army is involved, the monsters are always attacking the vehicles. And there's a few scenes where Mila is in like a Jeep or something like that, and it gets hit by a monster tail, and it just rolls, and the camera's in the Jeep with her, and we just see her just thumping all around in that Jeep. And we see that a few times with her people when the monsters are attacking. So I thought those look good. He loves to do POV shots. So whenever Hunter fires his bow, for the most part, it's always the POV once it launches off the bow, and I like that. Yeah, I think that, and he also like, and I like wide shots. I like when you get a lot done in one wide shot. I don't think everything needs to be a close up or a medium shot. So he does a lot of wide shots, and it's a lot of shots looking down as like Hunter and Mila are walking in the desert. A lot of long distance shots and stuff. So it's yeah. So I think the camera was used in an interesting way. Did you enjoy the film? Why or why not? Well, I already answered that too. I did enjoy this film quite a bit. I would watch it again, and I would like to have a sequel. What are its good and bad points? Good points. It's very entertaining. It's got some good special effects. It's got some good acting. The story is very easy to follow. I would think even kids that like video games would probably enjoy this because it's just nonstop action. Its bad points, I can't really pick any out. I don't think there are any. Yeah, I don't think that there are any. I can't really point any bad. I mean, except for just the ship at the very beginning looking a little CGI. But that's about it. I can't really point any out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there are any. So I'm gonna have to say that there aren't any. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? Why was it good? The fight scenes were good. They were done interestingly. So they have to capture a spider to get the venom off the back of it. So that was done creatively. There is in the sea of sand, there's a whole bunch of old ships, like pirate ships, that are just kind of abandoned in this like rock area. Like they crashed into this rock area, and they're just filled with sand. That I like that visually. Visually, this film is as far as like sets go and costumes, very nice. It looks really good, especially those ships. There's Hunter's cave that he lives in that's all kind of barricaded so the spiders don't get in it. That looks really good. So I know the battles are good. There's a fight between Mila and Hunter that I thought was pretty good. I just wish the editing wasn't so frantic. So maybe that's a bad point. Maybe that's a bad point, is somebody the editing is a little too jagged. Just too MTV-ish. Just cut. You don't always need to be cutting. Yeah, anything with Ron Perlman, of course, is always good. So let's go down to the next one here. Number 9. What scene did you particularly not enjoy? Why was it bad? Nothing. Nothing comes to mind. Yeah, nothing. Seriously, nothing. So I'm going to move on. Would you recommend this film? Yes. Yes, I would. I would recommend this film. I think that if you just enjoy a good popcorn movie and, like monster flicks, kind of like sci-fi monster flicks, even something like Reign of Fire, that also has dragons in it. I would check it out, or Tremors, because they have like the worms in the sand. I would say that type of thing. And it does say, to what sort of people. I would recommend this to pretty much anybody that enjoys sci-fi, fantasy, action, Mila, people who maybe like martial arts, because there is some of that in there. People who like Ron Perlman. So I think that there's a lot of stuff in this to recommend, you know, if you like Paul W.S. Anderson. So there you go. Are there other films you can compare this to? What would I compare this to? I know this is not the best one, but like Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, maybe, because it's kind of like a fish out of water. You know, that Mila's on Earth, she goes through the portal, has to go through the portal to come back. And that's kind of the same thing with Mark Wahlberg and Planet of the Apes, is that he goes through one of those, the many portals that we see. And then at the end, he has to go through it again, and then ends up in the alternate world, the alternate, you know, Earth with the apes all, you know, civilized now. So maybe Planet of the Apes, but I know that a lot of people don't like that. I don't know what I would compare it to. Maybe anything with big monsters. If you like Godzilla, you know, that could be a, if you like that. Yeah, I don't really know what I would compare it to. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of stands on its own in a way, but I guess big monster movies. That's what I would compare it to. So that's all the questions on this. What I want to do is take a look here, and I already have this brought up, for Monster Hunter. So Capcom, that's the name of the company that they took the game from. Capcom. I couldn't see the com. It was either con or com, but it's Capcom. So let's look at so this bombed in the office. One of the things I wanted to look at here was its box office. So its budget was 60 million. The box office was 44.4 million. It bombed. So the chances of this getting a sequel are slim to none. Unless they want to do kind of like what they did with Doom and some of these other movies, you know, that are based on video games, is just do a cheaper direct to video or streaming movie. And it would just have nobody from the original film in it. It'd be a completely different, I guess, like Army Patrol that gets sucked in the, you know, in the portal. But yeah, I don't see that this is a, that this is ever going to get a sequel to it. So, see, it looks like it comes up. So it looks like Paul W.S. Anderson has wanted to do this since 2012. It was announced in 2018. Looks like it was South Africa. Cape Town, South Africa is where they got shot. Yeah, the film grossed over 44 million worldwide against a production budget of 60 million, and received mixed reviews, with praise for its action sequences and visual effects, but criticism for its direction and editing. There we go. I did check the future of this, and it just says November of 2020, Anderson talked about a possible sequel, saying there are hundreds of monsters in the game. I can only use 5 or 6 of them in the movie. So it's big, fun world that I think we've only just started to scratch the surface. Mila added to the discussion saying, definitely, we would love to make another one. Hopefully people are going to love it. I know Paul would love to make a sequel. I mean, he's already writing something. So I don't know. Maybe if it does really well on video. looks like because of COVID, it got delayed like once or twice. But so let's look at Paul W.S. Anderson. So okay. So he started off with a film in 1994 called Shopping. I've never seen it. I've heard that it's good, but I have not watched it. Then he did 1995 Mortal Kombat, then 1997 Event Horizon, 1998 he did Soldier, which a lot of people don't know is actually connected to Blade Runner. There's a scene when Kurt Russell gets like dumped off on the planet, and there's all those junk like cars and all that type of stuff in it. There is a I think they're called spinners from Blade Runner, and there is one of those like police cars, one of those like spinner cars in the junkyard. So Soldier is connected to Blade Runner. I wonder if they mention that here. Connection with the Blade Runner franchise. Oh, and the writer of Soldier was the co-writer on Blade Runner. Soldier was written by David Peoples, who co-wrote the script for the 1982 film Blade Runner. Soldier is considered to be a spin-off so it's side and sequel. So sequel, spiritual successor to Blade Runner, seeing both films as existing in a shared fictional universe. The film obligatorily refers to various elements of stories written by Philip K. Dick, who wrote the 1968 novel Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep, on which Blade Runner is based, or film adaptations thereof. A spinner, I am correct, yeah, spinner from Blade Runner can be seen in the wreckage on the planet, on the junk planet in the film, and Kurt Russell's character is shown to have fought battles referenced in Roy Batty, Rutger Hauer's dying monologue. The Shoulder of Orion and Tannhauser Gate. So I always thought that was cool. So I have like Blade Runner. I got the box set of that. Then I have the Blade Runner 2049, and then right next to that is Soldier. So I put all those together. Let's see. 2002 Blade Runner. Blade Runner. Now I got Blade Runner in my head. Resident Evil, and then 2004 Alien vs. Predator, and Resident Evil Apocalypse. Now, he didn't direct all of these. Some he was the producer on, some he was the writer on and stuff. He also, 2005, The Dark, 2006, DOA, Dead or Alive, 2007, Resident Evil Extinction, 2008, Death Race, 2009, Pandorium. That's a pretty good film. 2010, Resident Evil Afterlife. Also 2010, Death Race 2. 2011, Three Musketeers. That I got to rewatch. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I need to rewatch it. 2012 would be Resident Evil Retribution. 2013 is Death Race 3 Inferno. That was a letdown. 2014, Pompeii. 2016, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter. With some of the editing is that is just amazing. And we're going to look at the editor on that in a second here. I've gotten used to it. I kind of like the film now. I kind of like the editing style of it. And like I said, it's the same guy who edited Monster Hunter, which is a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better. Death Race Beyond Anarchy. He did a film called Here Are the Young Men. And then that was Death Race Beyond Anarchy is 2018. Then 2020, Here Are the Young Men. Don't know what that is. It looks like an indie film, based on a novel. He didn't direct it. 2020, Monster Hunter. Oh, he's listed as executive producer on Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City 2021. He also did a cameo appearance in a short film from 2011 called The Shot. And he was on, then he also did some television, El Cid, The Sight, Drift, Origin, Mimic, did a couple commercials, Doom 3, and a Volkswagen commercial. It looks like maybe 3 of those. So he's definitely got a good, I don't know. I like his movies. I mostly just watch the ones that are directed by him or produced, like all the Death Race films. Like I'll watch all those. Oh, isn't that funny? You cannot click on Dobie White. So there's always ways around these things. We will just go to IMDb. Because I do not like his editing style at all. And when I first started out with film, I wanted to be an editor. So I always looked at films as like what would an editor do? So let's see, cast and crew, editing, Dobie White. The name is so dumb. Okay. Filmography. So he's editor, sound department, editorial department, visual effects, producer, camera department, thanks, and self. So let's go to editor. I'm going to start from the he edited Gamer, which is kind of a nightmare, but yeah, that's Gamer's done by the guys who I'm going to click on it because I'm blinking now. And I didn't think Gamer was horrible, but the editing is pretty. It's pretty chaotic. It's not what I wanted. Crank. That's the film I'm thinking of. Crank. Crank 1 and 2. So let's go all the way back to. Yeah, so the guys who made Gamer also made Crank 1 and 2. The Darkest Hour, uncredited, that I liked. That took place in a Russia kind of end of the world type of movie. I enjoyed that. Worked on a lot of shorts. Some TV shows. A movie called Reclaim, another movie called Momentum, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, Polar, Monster Hunter, a couple documentaries, and a short. So he really hasn't done that many features. He's done a lot of shorts, some music videos, some TV stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. The other stuff that he did for Paul W.S. Anderson, like the Resident Evil stuff, was, I don't know. He was not the best choice for that, for the final film, I don't think. So, and then, for the hell of it, let's just see, what is Mila up to? What is she doing? What does she have coming out? Mila. What's this here? Mila is a Ukraine-born actress, supermodel, fashion designer, singer, public figure who has been on the cover of more than 100 magazines, started such films as The Fifth Element, great movie, Ultraviolet, good movie, and the Resident Evil franchise. So let's go look at, what is she up to? It's not taking me to where I want it to go. Come on, filmography. Okay, why is... This is kind of annoying how IMDb is doing this. It's just not giving me a list. It's like I just want a list. Mila? No, forget it. You know what? We're just going to go back to Wikipedia then. Luckily, the Wi-Fi is doing pretty good. Here we go. We're already back there. Okay, shoot all the way up to the top. Mila. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, she's been married a few times. So she's been married, now that I'm scrolling. So Sean Andrews, 1992 to 1992. Luc Besson, who was, of course, the Fifth Element, that was 97 to 99. And then Paul W.S. Anderson from 2009 on. And she has three kids. I thought she only had two. Guess I'm not as big of a fan as I thought. One might have come from another marriage. I think she only had two kids. Yeah, here's her album was released in 1994, The Divine Comedy. And the singles from it were The Gentleman Who Fell, Bang Your Head, It's Your Life, and then she did a non-album single called Electric Sky, which was pretty good. She's also been on a ton of other people's stuff too. Well, not a ton, I'm exaggerating that, but she did like guest, like featuring on other people's songs, which is pretty cool. Filmography. Okay, so she started out in 1988 with Two Moon Junction. That was a good movie. And then in 1991, Blue Lagoon, Return to the Blue Lagoon. 1992, Cuffs and Chaplin. Those are both good. So far we got good films. Two Moon Junction, Return to Blue Lagoon was fun. Cuffs, Chaplin. 1993, Dazed and Confused. 1996, The Mirror Has Two Faces. Did not see that. She is Girl in Commercial. And 1997, the film that made her a household name would be The Fifth Element. 1998, He Got Game. 1999, The Messenger, The Story of Joan of Arc. 2000, The Claim and The $1 Million Hotel. 2001, Zoolander. 2002, Resident Evil, You Stupid Man. 2003, Dummy and No Good Deed. 2004, Resident Evil Apocalypse. 2005, Needlework Pictures presents. Oh, so she was in a version of Caligula. 2006, Ultraviolet and 45. 2007, Resident Evil Extinction. 2008, Paul Palmiro, Shooting. 2009, The Perfect Getaway and The Fourth Kind. 2010, Stone. Also 2010, Resident Evil Afterlife and Dirty Girl. 2011, Lucky Trouble, Bringing Up Bobby. Three Musketeers, Faces in a Crowd. A lot of these I own. Some I don't. Some I haven't even heard of. 2012, Resident Evil Retribution. 2014, Cyberling. 2015, Survivor. Warrior's Tale. 2016, Zoolander 2. Resident Evil, The Final Chapter. 2017, Shock and Awe. 2018, Future World. She plays Drug Lord. That's a James Franco movie. 2019, Paradise Hills, Hellboy. That's the remake. The Rookies, and in 2020, Monster Hunter. And she's done a fair amount of TV stuff. Married with Children, I remember that. Parker Lewis Can't Lose, King of the Hill, Project One, Runway, Robot Chicken. She's done some work in video games, music videos. So yeah, so both her and her husband have had a pretty good career. So, all right, so I think that is going to wrap it up. So thank you for hanging out with me. And yeah, go see this. I liked it. Go see it. I recommend it. I thought it was fun. So, all right, so this is my first video for Dark Park Films where I just reviewed one movie by myself. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll pick something else out. I'm going to try to do more relevant stuff with these type of videos. So, yeah, go check it out. All right, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go to bed. Man, I got some bags under my eyes, it looks like. I haven't been sleeping well lately. And I guess that's it. Now I'm rambling as I'm tired. All right, I'm going to leave. Thank you. Have a good night. Be safe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out after the video. And thank you for watching the very first Dark Park Films sponsored video. And who is that sponsor? Well, I've now learned if I do this with my hands, they go to the right area. There we go. That would be Wildlife Command Center Coffee, and you can purchase it right there. You can go to their website, which is buyWCC.com, and pick up their coffee. They have 2 blends, which I'm going to show you now. The first coffee is this one right here. This is a breakfast blend. It's 10 ounces, and it is a medium ground. And it does say, and it's breakfast, like I said, and this is what it says right here. It says, early bird can catch the worm. So there you go, a breakfast blend coffee that helps you catch the worm in the morning. And I really like this one. I'm more of a breakfast kind of blend coffee guy in the morning. So this one I really like. It has that little bit of oomph to it to kind of get you moving, get you up and out. And so I really enjoy this one, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the other one, which is this one right here. This is a dark roast. It is also 10 ounces, and both of these are $7.99 at their website. Pretty good price for 10 ounces worth of ground coffee. This one is, it's a little darker, so it's, I think it's better for drinking at night. Maybe if you're, writing a screenplay, or if you're filming, this has got that oomph, that double punch to get you going. So this is one that I also recommend. I like both of these quite a bit, but I kind of do, the breakfast in the morning and then the dark more at night. So I recommend both of these quite a bit. And how did I find out about these two, these two coffees here? And how did I find out about Wildlife Command Center? Well, when I was working on Night of the Zomghouls, there was a box of coffee that was just sitting there, filled with coffee. And we didn't know what to do with it. Like, whose is this? Who brought it? Why is it here? And so we just kept going to the store and buying coffee. And then one day I said, why don't we just get the coffee out of the box and use that instead of, wasting money on going to Smith's or whatever and picking up coffee. So we did. We did not realize that it was the Wildlife Command Center coffee, and that it, was sponsoring the movie. And it was great coffee. Everybody loved it. And we just went right through it. By the last day of filming, this coffee was gone. And I went and found out, about Wildlife Command Center, asked if they would like to be a sponsor for Dark Park Films, for their coffee. As many of you know, I love coffee. I love coffee mugs. And so this was a perfect match. And Wildlife Command Center is great with animals. So they provide a great service for rescuing animals. So it's kind of that double whammy for me, where coffee, helping animals, you can't go wrong. And they were even cool enough to send me, get in there, a coffee mug, because they knew that I liked coffee mugs. And right now, I don't get that. A little bit. I'm going to go on the keyboard, but that's their dark blend, because I'm recording this at night. So I am actually drinking that while recording. Also, one thing that you can get at their website, which is cool, is you can get this. There you go. This pocket knife, which is $9.49. And this is pretty cool because it has their name on it. Wildlife Command Center, we can catch it. And this is what it looks like. Put that down there. There we go. Fully out. So you're getting like the bottle opener, you got the corkscrew, you got a screwdriver, you got a blade, and then you got this little hook thing that you can pop it into something that doesn't have a tab, and then the liquid or whatever in there will come out. So this is pretty cool. And I'm just going to keep mine in my car, because you never know, you might need a pocket knife. So please support them. I'm going to have links down below, where you can, check out just the Wildlife Command Center. I'll also have a link for Wildlife Command Center coffee, and it will basically be for both these guys right here. And please support them. I support them. I think what they do is pretty awesome. And maybe this coffee will be on your set or in your kitchen. It will definitely be, on my set in my kitchen. I know that. So please, once again, I'm going to show you these. Please go to their website and pick up their coffee and make it part of your day or night, depending on which one you like. So that'll be about it. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, so thank you. And once again, please support my channel. Please support the Wildlife Command Center, and I will catch you later. Bye.